welcome back to Charged Nutrition. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about how to read food labels. Nutrition facts labels are awesome because they can really give you a great idea of how good a food product is and whether or not it's something that you should be eating or eating regularly. And every food product is required to have a food label or a nutrition facts label on it. So no matter what type of food product you're looking at, you can always decipher how good it is based on what information is on the label. So this video is just going to be the bare basics of a nutrition facts label, what it entails, and then mainly what's important to look at when looking at nutrition labels. So with that being said, let's get started. So the very first thing that you will see on any nutrition facts label at the very top, it will have the serving size as well as the servings per container. This is very important to take a look at because you want to know what the serving size is when you're comparing two different products. And also it's important to know how many servings are in the container because all of the nutrition information that will be listed after it, for example, calories, grams of fat, grams of protein, things like that, are going to be for one serving. So if you're eating a whole candy bar, it may be, oh, this is only a couple hundred calories, but really there's 3 servings in there, so you have to multiply it by 3. So it's important to make sure you're looking at the serving size and the servings per container. The next thing you'll see listed are calories, and this is very straightforward. This is going to tell you how many calories are in each serving. And then the next thing down is going to be your fat. It's going to give you the total grams of fat for the whole product, and it will also break it down into different types of fat depending on what the product is. The fats you can see listed depending on the food product are saturated fat, which is the bad fat, trans fat, which is also very bad for us, and then monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which are considered the healthier fats. Next up, you'll see cholesterol on the label. Remember to keep in mind that cholesterol only comes from animal products. You will never see cholesterol in any type of plant product. If you are watching your cholesterol, it's important to obviously look at how much cholesterol is in each food product you eat, but remember that saturated fats can also raise your blood cholesterol and are actually 3 times more powerful at doing so than actually eating cholesterol. Next on the list, you will see sodium. This is definitely one to keep an eye out for because many food products, processed food products these days, are extremely high in salt or sodium. So when looking at labels, the number to keep in mind is 140 milligrams. Anything 140 milligrams or below is considered low sodium. So that can help give you a gauge to see how high or maybe how moderate or how low sodium is in certain food products. Next, you will see the total carbohydrates in the whole product. This is pretty straightforward. And also underneath of that, it will tell you how many grams of fiber, if any, exist in the product. And then lastly, you will see sugars listed. At this point in time, those sugars can either be naturally occurring sugars like from fruit, or they can also be added sugar. In a couple years, the nutrition facts labels are going to be changing, and they're going to be included how many grams of added sugar are in each product. But at this point in time, the sugars listed on your label can be either natural or added or both. And then last on the list is protein. Again, this is very straightforward. This is just going to tell you how many grams of protein are in each serving of that food product. And remember that protein is something that really helps keep us full, so generally the more protein in a product, the better. The very last thing you'll see on a nutrition facts label is the ingredients. They are always listed at the bottom. And it is also very important to glance over the ingredients, and there are kind of a few tips you can use to help you decipher whether or not it's a good product. The very first one is a general rule of thumb that the longer the ingredient list, the more processed and less wholesome the product is. So you want to see shorter ingredient lists, and you also want to see more pronounceable ingredients. A product that has lots of scientific looking, difficult to pronounce ingredients is going to be a lot more processed, it's going to have a lot more additives, and it's maybe not the best product for us to choose. So you want to look for easily pronounceable, short ingredient lists because that means it's less processed, a more wholesome, and just better choice overall. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that the ingredients are listed in order of abundance in that product. For example, in a loaf of bread, if the first ingredient is whole wheat flour, you know that that loaf of bread is made up of mostly flour. And then from then on, the rest of the ingredients will go in descending order. That is all for today. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Nutrition facts labels are such powerful tools to help us navigate the food industry and figure out what foods are going to be better for us. Once you get used to looking at food labels, it truly does become second nature, and it's such an important part of leading a healthy lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Bye! Grocery shopping is pretty straightforward, however it can be very easy to be distracted by all of the different marketing techniques that are employed in grocery stores. So with the tips I'm going to be sharing with you today, it can help you to get in, get out, and only get